Hi you guys, welcome to the Rubber Room. It's me, Chris Colley. It is Wednesday night at 6 o'clock and I'm here for a live create with Chris. I'm just going to make sure I'm in our group here, and I am. So let's get started. We're actually going to be working with the Sale-a-Bration, I think it's called Rings of Love Designer Series paper, and the Tree of Love that it, or Ring of Trees is the stamp set that it coordinates with. So we had our team meeting last night and we did fun folds and focused on the Sale-a-Bration and mini catalog items. So we did 3 cards, and this is the first one we did. So let me get all my pieces out here. I hope you guys are doing good. We've been having some really hot weather here, so it's been kind of nice to be down in the rubber room. It's a little bit cooler down there than it is in the rest of our house, so that's been nice. Okay, so we have our card base. Let me pull this out of the way. We have our card base, and this is going to be the edge of our card. Some designer series paper. And we have a Poppy Parade circle and a basic white circle. Both of those are cut with the Stylish Shapes dies. If you guys don't have those dies yet, you definitely need them. And then we have our piece of wood, looks like a tree trunk, and I think that's all the pieces we need. We have our sentiment. The sentiment comes from this stamp set as well. We had one Poppy Parade stamp set at our or Poppy Parade ink pad at our table last night, so I did a little bit of pre-stamping. Hi Kay and Lori, thanks for being here, ladies. I'm glad that you're joining us. We are going to start with an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and it is scored at, let me put it this way, it is scored at 5.5, and then 2 3/4. Okay, so it's going to go just like this. We're going to fold this edge down, and then we're going to fold it back on top of itself and get that score line a good crease on it. And then we're going to take our designer series paper, and this is the free Sale-a-Bration paper. If you don't have it, we're going to be using it most of this week, either tomorrow or Friday. I will come back and show you some note cards made with it. Our note cards have a little box with them, so it'll be a real treat for you. Okay, so we're just going to put our designer series paper on here, and this paper is a choice that you can get for free with any qualifying $50 purchase. I'm just going to add a little bit of Stamp and Seal to the back of my basic white. And then we're going to center that on the inside of our card. Okay. I just want to take a little peek and make sure that they kind of line up on both ends. And then I'm going to take my white circle and I'm going to put it right on top of my Poppy Parade circle. I'm actually going to try it down just a little bit like that, just for kind of something fun and different from what we did with the other one. I'm going to put that back, set it aside for now. I'm going to bring in my Poppy Parade mushroom caps, and I'm going to add some stems in crumb cake to the bottom of this piece. And because it's photopolymer, you can see right where you're going to stamp this piece. And you're just going to line it up and stamp it. And I'm also, while I have this open, I'm going to take my crumb cake dauber and just get some ink on it, and I'm going to lightly brush it over my piece of wood. So I'm just tapping my dauber into my crumb cake ink and then tapping it off on my scrap paper. And that's just going to give this a little bit of variety, a little bit of added color, which is going to give it a little more of that tree trunk kind of texture to it. Okay. And then I am going to fancy cut. Here are my scissors. And a fancy cut around these mushrooms and the top. There was one little thing in each basket tonight that we were gonna that we had to fancy cut or fussy cut, however you like to say it. So, and I'm not. This one is kind of a fast cut. You don't have to be too particular. You don't want to. You want some of that white showing in the middle. So I'm not going to cut all the way down there. I forgot to add my pictures from the card that we did on Monday. So I'll add some pictures to that one, and then I'll take pictures of these cards and add them also. So you can have some pictures that you can look back and refer to without having to go back and hunt down the video. That's always nice. Sometimes I get watch the video and then I have a vague recollection of what the cards look like. So I don't want to go back and have to watch the whole video to get all 3 cards. So I'll post some pictures for you. I know we're all busy and only have so much time, and we don't have to watch that video over and over just so we can make these cards. Case them, add a little bit of your own color maybe, however you want to do it. And then while I have my snips in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and cut my words. A lot of times we get really caught up in this has to be perfectly straight and corner rounded and all of that, and I'm just going to eyeball it. And I think sometimes if you just line it up with the words, you're going to get it pretty straight. And if it's not straight, in my book, that is not really that big of a deal. When it's that skinny, I don't think it needs to be perfectly straight. But I'm sure you can get it perfectly straight if you wanted to. And I cut this one like right up to the words. This one, I left a little bit more space. But I don't think it's going to make a big difference at all. And then I needed a little green leaf, but apparently all of my green leaves are gone. So we're going to do this one without one. That just means somebody saw an opportunity last night and took 2 or 3 instead of just the one. So we're going to make ours without one, just because I didn't bring my die up here with me, and it will be perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm going to put this kind of right in there. And we're going to pop up these, our little toadstool there, or mushroom. I think they're really actually called toadstools. And you can see it was like a mistake that I made on the other side, so I just flipped our paper over. Our paper is stamping. You can stamp and use either side of it. You can emboss and use either side of it. It's very versatile. Okay, so I'm using mini dimensionals just because those are the ones I brought with me tonight. So I'm going to put that one, I think I'm going to put it up even a little bit higher. There we go. And I'm going to add just a little bit of Stampin' Seal in the middle there. And I'm going to put some of our linen thread on it. And I'm just going to kind of loop it around, but I'm going to put it right down in the middle on my adhesive. And just kind of make some loops with it. This is that linen thread I think is so pretty. And you can actually add it like this, and I don't think you're going to get that a feminine look. So you could still use this as a masculine card, and it would be perfectly fine. Let's get this one a little bit shorter, I think, and then we'll cut this end off. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of my words here. Let's see if I made my words big enough. We can put one of these little mini dimensionals on there. We're actually going to have to cut them in half, but that's okay. I know how to do that. I'll go this way, and I'm just going to cut them like that. So you get a really, really tiny one now, which will fit on these really skinny words. There we go. I'm going to put one on each end. I'm going to kind of leave it open in the middle because that linen thread is going to take up some of that space there. Okay, so I have my Get Well Soon on there. And then I'm just going to put tape on the left edge of my die cut. Let's see if I can get this tape going, because I don't want to tape my card all the way closed. So I'm just going to put this on here, about there, making sure I don't have any tape over here. Okay. And let's see where the jewels for that one are. They are here. So I'm going to use these. You could use the red ones, the kind of turquoisey ones are the ones I'm going to use, but you could use gold or silver. You can really use any kind of embellishment that you wanted to on here. I just thought sprinkling some of these around made it look a little fancy. And who doesn't want fancy mushrooms, right? So I'm just going to add 3 of them along in here. Okay, so I'm going to show you the difference here. Let me see if I can get them both in here for you. I tried to get it lined up so that they were kind of, let's see, I'm going to come this way, I think. And then you can see the whole one. So this one, I kind of off-centered my circle. And then this one, my circle is layered right in the middle of the other circle. I kind of like this one a little bit. And this one, we've added that green leaf to it, which is also a die in the same stamp set. This one is leafless or sprigless, whatever you want to call that little thing there. Okay, so that is our first card. And again, that's made with that Sale-a-Bration paper. And then this one, and this one's really kind of a fold I have not done before. Debbie's here. Thanks, Debbie and Arlena and Patricia. I'm glad that you guys are all here tonight. So Debbie got to make these cards last night when she was here for our meeting. And I think she had some fun. I hope she had some fun. So this one, we're still using that same designer series paper. And we have lots of little pieces here. So we're going to have a white piece for the inside. And then we're going to have a Night of Navy that's going to be kind of our flap. And this one's going to go on the inside. And that one's, we're going to layer our house on. And we need a little circle to layer the house on. Okay. So you guys can see I have one extra card kit left over here. So if you place a minimum $35 order with me, I will send you a card kit for all 3 of these cards. And it will be exactly like this. You'll have to add your own stamping if you want to stamp something on it. But everything you see coming out of these packets will be in your kit. Okay, so this is 5.5 by 8.5, and it is scored at, I'm sorry, it's scored at 4 1/4, and then it's scored at 2 1/8. So this is going to be the same as the last card we did. We're going to fold it in the middle and then fold this piece back. Okay, so that's the 8.5 inch side is scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. Okay, now what we're going to do different on this card is we are going to take this piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and it has a 1/2 inch score on it. So I'm going to take that and I am going to burnish on that score line. Okay. And then I'm going to take my adhesive and just kind of run it right down here. And this I'm going to tape right to here. Okay. So I'm going to put it right in the middle of my piece of Night of Navy cardstock. I think that looks, and don't be like freaked out if you don't get it exactly in the middle. It really isn't going to matter that much. I think mine might be a little more towards the top than the bottom, so just put it in where you like it and you're comfortable with it. And then I am going to bring in my piece of basic white, and this is 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm just going to add some Stampin' Seal to it on the back. I'm going to be sure I get this sides all the way, because it's going to be important that you have adhered this side down really tight so your flap doesn't come out. So I'm just going to center this in there. And I like to, when I'm holding it like this, I'm able to see that I have it centered before I push it down. So I think I'm nice and straight, and then I'm going to push it down. Okay. And now let's add our designer series paper. This piece is going to go here like that. And this is it. We're going to actually use the kind of watercolor side. Yeah, I think it looks kind of watercolored, but we're going to put it right in the center like that. And then we're going to add this piece with the birds to this side. And I'm going to, before I decorate it, I'm just going to bring in that other card so you can see you don't really have to go all out. I don't know why when I'm working on things I always have them at an angle. I'm always doing that. I'm trying really hard to stay straight. So this actually is this same card fold without this piece. Okay, so these two pieces are the same exact fold. And I think it's called a Z fold. But you can see you're going to use that same fold and get a whole different kind of look with it. Okay, so I'm going to use some dimensionals on here. I'm not sure what happened to my, oh, here's some big dimensionals. They'll work much better on here. So I'm going to take some of these bigger dimensionals and just put them on the back of my circle. Now this card has absolutely no stamping on it. So if you got this card kit, you would be able to make it exactly like this without adding your own stamps to it. All right, let's get these off here. And this one again is one of those stylish shapes dies. Love, love, love them. Okay, and we're going to do one more. The house on this one is going to be our fussy cut. And I'm going to leave a little bit of the scenery on here. Are you guys looking forward to your weekend? I'm just going to leave some of these trees when I'm fancy cutting it. I actually am taking a stamping class on Saturday that I'm pretty excited about. One of my downline is doing it, and I'm actually going with another one of my downline to the class. I like to spoil myself that way. I get to support some other team members, and I get to treat myself to some stamping and an enjoyable, relaxing afternoon. So that's going to happen on Sunday. I'm really excited about that. And then on Saturday, I'm actually going to New Orleans the end of this month. I think we leave on the 24th, which is going to be here before we know it. I think it's 2 weeks from today. Yeah, 2 weeks from today it is. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going for a backstage. So you have to be silver and elite or above to be able to go. But I'm going to take some swaps with me. So on Saturday, I'm going to design my swaps. So I have plenty of time to work on them and get them ready. And I won't have to be flipping out at the last minute. And I also have classes coming up on the 20th. And I'm going to be working to get some of those designed and underway. So I have like a full couple days of stamping coming up. And I am super excited about that. I like it when I can spend my days in the rubber room stamping. It's going to be super fun. And I am going to, like I said, pop back on here and share with you guys our make and takes from our team meeting that we're also done with this paper. This one I'm just going to add Stamp and Seal and put it down with my Stamp and Seal. I'm going to get a little bit right there. I like it when I get my workspace all sticky so everything in the basket sticks to it, right? Okay. And I'm going to put my house just down a little bit. There we go. Oh, I need something under there, don't I? I'm going to get a little... I can tell when it sticks up like that it will catch on everything. So these are the little tiny glue dots that you get from your paper pumpkins, and they are perfect for this. I'm going to use the other end of my Take Your Pick tool and just kind of peel the little glue dot away from the backing, and then just slide it right under there. Okay, totally missed that. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to come in with my snips. No, I guess I'm not. I'm going to leave it just like that, I think. Yeah, I'm going to leave it just like that. So that's it, you guys. It's just going to open up like this. And you can see that watercolor paper has a different kind of look depending on which part of it you're using. So this one has a lot more blue, and this one has a lot more of that green. So this one definitely looks better with that kind of faded out house, and this one with the brighter house. And you have plenty of room on the inside to write your greeting too. Okay, so that was our second one. And our third one, we made a Christmas card. Okay. So let's get our goodies out. This is that Evening Evergreen, which is one of the new in colors, and I think it's so pretty. So let's get our Puppy Parade out and our Evening Evergreen and all of our goodies. Now the new stamp set is, I think it's like, there's a Christmas greetings one that has these dies in it. I think it's sparkling greetings maybe. Okay, so this one has kind of a lot of pieces to it. It's going to be a gift card holder. And this one is, I don't know why I don't have two of those, and there's some ink on this one. So let's see what we're doing here. Okay, so these pieces are going to go back in my trusty little basket here, so that when somebody orders, I'll have them all ready to go. Okay, so this time our card's going to be horizontal instead of vertical, our card orientation. Actually, I'm going to start off stamping my poinsettia. That'll give it a few minutes to dry before I fussy cut it. So I'm using Puppy Parade, and I am going to do first and second generation, meaning I'm going to stamp once. That is my first generation. And then I'm going to stamp again without re-inking. And that is my second generation. Okay? And then I'm I'm going to take my Evening Evergreen and I'm going to stamp my sentiment on this little fancy label. I love this label. This is probably going to be one of my favorite ones. So I'm going to stamp it in Evening Evergreen. And if you guys don't know the trick, you can open this stamp pad like a cosmetic case, like that. And there's a little groove right there. You just put your thumb in it and lift it up and over and then pull it through like this. And then to close it, you're just going to put your thumb right in this tray. If you can see, there's a little tray right there. And I'm just going to put my thumb in it and pull it away. Now, if you have trouble opening it like this, you can just put your thumbs where these two holes are. See those two holes right there? Put your thumbs right inside there and press down. And that pops this end up. And then you're just going to flip it towards you and slide it. All right, and then when you're inking, these new stamp pads are like super juicy. So when you're inking, don't press it down and go all over with it. Just do 2 or 3 quick taps. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 quick taps. And I can see I didn't get my middle there. Okay, let me actually try it and see. Yep, good. So I'm just going to do 2 or 3 quick taps. You don't want to push it down and smush it around because then you're going to get ink all over on these edges, like right there. And it's really easy to get that ink onto your card. So I'm just going to smush it off there with my fingers. And this comes off with regular stamp cleaner. You can get that off with. So, and I'm going to put my little label there, make sure my label is straight, and then stamp my words in it. Okay. Now I'm going to set those two things aside while I get my cardstock out here. And the big flap is going to go on the top of my card. And the bottom flap is going to be, or the little flap is going to be on the bottom of my card. Okay, so this is the bigger flap here, and that's the smaller flap. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. Let me make sure I'm in there where you can see it. A little bit of glue right at the edges. I don't want to use my tape because my tape sometimes, I don't know if you guys, if your glue gets sticky in there, but I keep a straight pin right in my little case where my glue sits, and that way I have it gosh, that glue is like flooding all over. Okay, so I have it, I can just poke it in there and get my glue going again. Okay. And then I'm going to do that on both sides. You're going to put a little card on the inside that you can do for a gift card. You can use it for a gift card. You can take money to it, or you can write a little note in it if you want. But you want to do just on your sides. Well, I guess this one is not going to do it for me today. Let's try this one. Sometimes these glues have a mind of their own. There we go. Much nicer. I'm just going to let it get tacky for a second, and I'm going to throw my yucky one away. It is probably getting low, and that's why it's doing that. So this is going to be the part where you put your gift card, which is going to be, I'm just going to set that aside for a second. That's going to be this piece here. So I'm going to take my Designer Series paper and just add it to the top with some Stampin' Seal. So I'm just going to put this right at the top here. And I'm going to leave about maybe an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch of white showing there. Okay? Make sure that I have it straight. And then I'm going to bring this in and there. I'm just going to fold it up and I'm just going to hang on to it for a minute and smooth it out so it gets nice and stuck down really good. And then I'm going to take my smaller piece of designer series paper. I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on it. And it's going to go right there. I'm going to pull my top down, put some Stampin' Seal on this piece. I like that this paper can be used for the holidays as well as fall. I love poinsettias. I think this is going to be a great holiday option for my cards. I'm going to be sure I've got it nice and straight on there. And I'm going to bring in my words, and I'm going to put my words on some dimensionals. And I'm going to use 4 dimensionals on there. On the back of that. Get it going really good for us. And I'm going to kind of put it up here so that I can put my poinsettias down there. So I'm going to slide this in and see how easily it will slide in and out with just the glue on those tiny edges there. And then I'm just going to kind of fussy cut my poinsettias. And again, I don't get really anal about how much white I leave around the edges or anything like that. We're going to layer these one on top of the other. So, and as much as it would surprise you guys to hear this, nobody is fly specking your card to go, oh my gosh, there's like a 1/16 of an inch of white here, and here she doesn't have any white. She must have been like drinking beer for hours while she was doing this, right? Nobody's going to do that. You are your own worst critic, so give yourself a break. And if you don't like fancy cutting, use a circle punch to put them on. You can do lots of different things to avoid the things you don't like. Most of us, when we're crafting, there are things that we don't like to do or we're not good at. So skip those things. Do the things that you like to do and are good at. Crafting is really, really relaxing, and it's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be your stress reliever. So don't be too hard on yourself and cause yourself stress while you're supposed to be relaxing. That's my little tip for today, you guys. I know some of you guys are getting ready to register for On Stage too. I think there are 9 or 10 of us in our group that are going. Today we started looking for a house. We like to all stay in one house. It helps us bond a little bit better. We can control what we're eating, so we don't have to eat out every single night. We can bring some dishes to pass. And it's just lots of fun. Everybody's going to bring some projects to craft with. So we get to craft with each other and stamp. It's an actual one-day Stampin' Up! Event. Stampin' Up! Has just gotten back into doing in-person events, which I am super excited about. And I do have some classes coming up. I'm going to be doing an advanced tree lot die class, so you can make some treats with it and some super layered cards. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And my Christmas club is going to start in August. It'll run August, September, October, November, and December. And it'll be offered in the morning and in the evening, so you can take it whatever time is good for you, and you can also get it to go. So if you don't live in the area and you still want to do Christmas cards, you can order it to go, and I will be sharing live how to make the cards, and you can craft along with me when I'm doing it, or you can make them at your own convenience. Sometimes when you're ordering to go, it's great to be able to do it when you have some time and you're free. I like to get a jump start on my Christmas cards. I send lots of them because I do for my customers as well as my team and my family, and so I need about 150, 175 cards, and that means I need to start really early to get them all done and not be stressed while I'm doing them. So the Christmas Club is a great way to do that. Now, let's see if I can get this glue to cooperate with me. I'm just going to put a little glue dot right in the middle there. And I'm going to use a dot of the Anywhere glue as opposed to the glue dot, because I want to be able to spin it around and get it to where I think it looks good. These are both the same stamp, so they're not going to layer exactly one on top of the other. So I'm going to get it to where I think they look good. I'm going to put a tiny dimensional right in the middle. And I'm going to put that about right there. And then I'm going to use these iridescent rhinestones. And I'm going to use the big one. This one has 3 different sizes to get. So you get a small, a medium, and a large. And I'm going to use the large one and put it right in the middle. And you get a great little shine from that. Let me see if you can see how iridescent that is. I think that's absolutely gorgeous there. Okay. And I think these two are probably the closest to the same. So that's your quick and easy little gift card holder or fun fold. And like I said, you can put a little note in there. A lot of times at Christmas, people like to send pictures of their families or their pets. And so this is a great one. You can put your picture right here and send it that way. So those are our 5 cards. Let me see. Catherine Murray is here. Welcome, Catherine. Susie's here. Kristen. Hi, Kristen. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope that you're going to be going to on stage. I would love to see you there. And Robin and Bambi, thanks for watching, all you guys. It's fun to see everybody here. I hope you enjoyed our cards. And why don't you take a minute and let me know which one was your favorite, okay? So this is number 1. This is number 2, and this one is number 3. So just leave me a comment and let me know which one you like the best. Be sure to check out all of my classes that are coming up, and I hope that I'll see you either Thursday or Friday. It will probably be Friday morning that I'll hop on and I'll share our make and takes with you that were made with this same designer series paper. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.